they have the experience in those areas to speak to our lives. And so today is one of those Sunday evenings. September 1 will come. So as you join us, and like I said before also, just in case the topic that the speaker will be speaking on doesn't relate to you. For example, if someone is talking about marriage and you have retired from marriage and it's not for you, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to it. And on top of it, you can also help others who are struggling in those areas. So as we go through these seminars, let us all come together and learn and experience the goodness of God through that. And so this evening, the person that our senior pastors have chosen is Pastor.
Thank you. Good evening, all. I want to take this moment to thank God for giving this opportunity to share my experiences and what I have learned in my life with the whole denom. For the parents and those who are going to be parents, I really thank God for this opportunity. And also, I would like to thank our senior pastors, Dr. Duncan and Mama Rose, for giving this opportunity to share my experiences with all of you. As you know, my name is Blossom Thomas. I also work here. I'm also the chief accountant for All Nation Full Gospel Church and ANCP, All Nation Charitable Properties, and All Nation Full Gospel Church International. My topic for today is inspiring a passion for learning in your children. This is a very dear topic to me because throughout my, until I think I can say till today, I'm learning as a mother how to handle my children and how to inspire them to learn new things. There's something that in my culture they say, you know, what you have learned is only the size of your palm. What you haven't learned is the size of the whole world. So learning can never stop. You can never say, I have learned everything in life. You learn as long as you live. And you also have to teach your children. So I want to start by telling, I'm sorry, our responsibility as parents. You know, when God gave us children, as you can see, Proverbs 22 verse 6 says, start children off on the way they should go. I mean, even when they're old, they will not turn from it. And also, the Bible says they are a gift from God. A gift, you know, if anybody gives you a gift, you know how careful you will be. You will treasure it. You'll hold closer to your heart. You imagine, I remember once I bought something from one of my children. They slept with it. They kept it so close to their heart. So children are something like that. That is a gift from God. So we should never see them as a burden. But we also have a responsibility towards them. Not only as parents, we have to guide them, protect them, teach them. So my topic for today is to inspire learning. So I'm going to talk about teaching your children. Teaching starts very early, very early. From you can see the key points that the minute you know you're conceived, from that minute, your child is connected to you. Mother becomes the first teacher the child knows, child bonds with. Then once the child is born, the father too becomes a teacher. So both the parents become the first teachers for our children. Unfortunately, most of us we fail to understand that point, that we are their first teachers. So we expect the school to teach them. If you don't teach them, someone else is going to teach them. And it may not be the right thing. So when it comes to teaching your children, you are not teaching them only the academics. You are also teaching them life lessons. You are teaching them your God, what you believe, what you trust, or everything. You are teaching them everything. That is how you are going to form that child as a person, as an individual. So you have to be very, very mindful how you are going to teach them, what you are going to teach them. Because knowingly or unknowingly, they are going to learn from you. And if you don't teach, they are going to learn from the school. And if they don't teach, they're going to learn from their friends. They're going to learn from their media and various sources they're going to learn, and it may not be the right thing. So I'm going to start with age 0 to 1. The next slide, please. I think this is the third slide also. Okay, I have put a picture of my family. I've got 3 girls. Each of them has about 5 years age gap. So I had a little bit of time to learn from each one of them. A lot of time. 5 years difference between, almost minimum is 5 years difference between each one of them. And I'm going to start the next slide from age of 0 to 1. At this stage, you can see this table. Okay, at this stage, 0 to 1, the capacity of their learning is 25%. That means they are watching you, how you speak, how you behave, what you do. They're absorbing it, everything. You know, small children, if you call, for example, I can tell my husband, he used to call me Blossom, right? For my first daughter, started to call me Blossom. She couldn't pronounce Blossom, she would say Bosham. So I was telling, no, call me Mommy. Call me Mommy. She would say Bosham. So it took for a while. Then people around me has to call me Mommy for her to call me Mommy. Otherwise, she would call me Blossom. So I have to say Daddy. I have to be very mindful that I don't call my husband by name. Then she will also call, if I call Luis, she will also call him by name Luis. She won't call him Daddy. So I want to give another example. One day, one of my relatives, they brought I think he was a toddler. And I didn't understand what this boy was talking, but it sounded like a foul language to me. Then I asked his father, what is he telling? I feel like he's swearing. He said, oh, he swears like a truck driver. He was so proud of it. No, you have to be very mindful. The language you speak to them. They hear everything. They see everything. You'll notice that your children, if it is a girl, she will try your handbag. She will try to wear your heels. She will try to wear your makeup. Have you seen small children doing that? It's nothing but they're copying you. So you have to be very mindful. So this is the first stage of learning. So you can teach them a good language. So that is how your learning starts. Their learning starts from 0 to 1. They're observing you. They're copying you. Everything you do. So if you're an organized person, they're going to be organized too. But if you're a person, for example, you throw your shoes as you come home, throw your clothes, and just walk away, they're going to do the same thing. They're watching you. So the first learning is they're just learning things by watching you, your behavior, how you speak. So you have to be very mindful around your children. And as I said, this stage is a very crucial stage. They learn things so fast by observing. For example, I can give you my nephew. I have 3 sisters and 4 brothers. I'm the youngest. I'm the 8th child. One of my sister's son, he was just a couple of months old, and she started to read to him. He didn't even know how to write alphabets, but because my sister kept reading books to him, by the age of 2.5 years, this boy could read everything. He could read everything. Anything advertised in the TV, he was able to read. We will be going, driving, he will read what is on the way, which way. And he would read newspapers. We were so amazed. Then we realized it's all because she took the time to read to him every day. And even though he didn't know how to hold a pencil, write alphabets, but he could read. Imagine the power of knowledge, how much he's absorbing. And so reading to your children is a good thing. So this is the first stage. You go to the second stage. I have some more slides. I already, next slide, please. Age 3. You are teaching your children. You know what you can do. I know most of us, we on the TV, let the children watch TV, then we go start cooking. But what we used to do at home, me and my husband, whenever we used to do anything, we always had our children around us, either on the countertop or the high chair. They will watch us cut vegetables. They'll watch us cooking. They watch us gardening. They watch us praying. They watch us reading. So make sure that you get them closer to you. Involve them in everything you do around the house. You know what? The first, I still remember my oldest was 2 years, some months. But we always had this morning praise and worship. And one fine day, she was alone. She sang the whole song all by herself. And I was in tears. I was wondering, who taught her? No one taught her. She just learned because she saw us having praise and worship every morning. And she was there. We thought she was playing. No, she learned. So this age is a very crucial age because this is the age their brain develops the most by age 0 to 3. They can learn many languages as they want to. For example, I can tell one of my another kid, because I was living in India, then before coming to Canada for a short time, we went to my country. I'm from Sri Lanka. There, she learned the local language, Sinhalese, Tamil, English. Before the age of 3, this child of mine was talking 3 languages. So any number of languages you want to teach your child, this is the best age. They can differentiate between different languages. They can answer you. So there's no limited number for them to learn any language. You can teach them up to any number of languages you want to. And don't think they're going to be confused. No, they're not going to be confused. They will learn to differentiate between different languages. They will read. And the best thing I used to do at that age for my kids, I know, that is a time their motor skills are developing. So I would give them crayons. I'll give them pencils. I just give them papers so they can draw something, scribble something. So let them start scribbling things, right? And after sometimes you draw a picture, maybe a ball or maybe an apple, and tell them to color them inside those circles. So they have learned the boundaries, how to color without being messy. So you are developing their motor skills. So you start giving them things. Don't put them in a box. Don't limit them in one room, right? Let them climb. No matter how much you're going to tell your children, don't do this, don't do that, the minute you say don't do it, they will try it. I had one of my children, I would say, please don't climb the staircase. I was so scared. Every time this girl, she would climb, she will slide down. And I would say, please, don't climb. And she went on extent of, she will slide upside down. Just imagine how scary it is. So one day she even fell. But, they are very resilient. So let them, certain things they have to learn by experience. You can't teach everything. But at the same time, make sure you're very mindful around your child, because your child is learning. So, the best thing I think what I and my husband did as parents was that age, we made them to sit in one place. At least we started by half an hour, 1 hour. So slowly as they grew, they were able to sit in one place for an hour or two. That enabled us to teach them to do their homework. That helped them to just focus. Don't do anything, don't play, just focus. Read, do something. And this is the age also I taught my children the multiplication. We call it timetable. You call it a multiplication table, right? So I taught my children that, and I taught them, this is the age they can memorize things. They can remember things so well. I told you, this age, imagine 75% of their brain develops at this age, 0 to 3. So imagine the capacity of the brain. They can learn, right? So as much as you can teach them. So teach them that make it very exciting for them. Have things around, like, they will come to the kitchen, they will pull out things. I know they can be very messy. They're very curious, right? They pull out things. I know one day I went to the washroom, I came back, I saw one of my children sitting quietly. I was wondering why this child of mine is sitting so quiet in one corner. Then I went closer, I looked at it. She had poured the whole bottle of can of oil on her. So she can't get up, she can't walk. Every time she tried to, she'll slip and fall back. So she sat quiet. So, and you can't get mad. It's okay. That is why they are called children. They are learning. For them, everything is a discovery. When they are able to skip a step and jump, that's a big discovery. They will come and tell, Mommy, I was able to skip one step and jump too. So, encourage them, be excited for them. And make sure you answer every question. Sometimes, all the questions, why the sky is blue. It's so difficult. But you can tell, God created that way. Right? So teach them. And what we think most of the time, let them play. Teaching is not a 24 hours, 7 thing. Let them play. But when they come and ask questions, don't treat them as they don't know, they don't need to know. Take time. This is what this is. And I know I was, my children, they were very curious. Sometimes, one of my kids especially, she will have so many questions. Why, what, when, everything, how it is made. If it is made out of wood, where did the wood come from? Or came from the tree, where did the tree come from? So this one of my children, she was so curious. She will have so many questions. Sometimes I used to wonder, why is she asking so many questions? Because we never did that to our parents. I didn't remember. But encourage them. And also be very mindful of to find out what they are good at, where they are struggling, and help them in that area. For example, I used to help my children count things, count vegetables, count fruits, and the counting become easy. So start slowly, language, mathematics, get them to be curious, and take them out. Go there, take them out for a walk. Let them touch the grass, roll in the grass. It's okay. Let them get muddy and dirty. It's okay. Let them enjoy. Right? And also, this is a crucial age. Teach them to pray. Teach them to love God. Talk to them about God. And they may not show interest. Sometimes I remember we were talking about, I think, marriage or something. We were talking in the house, and one of my girls, she was just playing. I didn't think she was listening. But I and my husband, we were having a serious discussion. And later that day, she said, "Mommy, when you marry, only you marry once, right?" I said, "What?" Then she said, "No, when you marry, you marry once, right? That is how God wants it." I said, "Yeah." So I didn't realize that she was listening. So everything what they hear, they're absorbing things. So teach them. Don't ever think they're too young to learn things. So teach them as much as possible, academics, discipline. Teach them to respect people. Teach them to be mindful. Teach them to be kind, thoughtful, And teach, because if you're going to be a parent who's rude, swearing, angry all the time, unappreciative, not grateful at all, those are the things you're teaching your children too. So that's why you have to be mindful, be kind, be hospitable. So they're learning everything from you. And this stage, they learn everything. So as much as possible, as much as you have time, teach them. Teach them to read, teach them to write, teach them to take. So you're not only academically inspiring them to learn things, but you're also making them to take care of themselves. Teach them how to tie a shoelace, to take a shower by themselves, dress up. They learn by seeing. But if you're a parent, after eating, you don't wash your plate, you just keep the plate and walk away, they're going to do the same. So be mindful. You teach them, okay, you eat, you clean, you throw the the remaining food, you throw it in the bin, then you go wash your plate. So what we used to do, we used to have this stool near the sink. So after eating, they will go wash their own plate. Even one of my girls even took it too far. One day, I think that was the time the iPhone was released first, and my husband got me iPhone 3, the small Apple phone. One afternoon, I was sleeping, and when I woke up, I saw this phone of mine, looks very shiny and nice and bright, and one of them took it nicely because she thought that it is dirty. So she put soap and brush, and she washed it nicely, and she gave it to me. She was being helpful to Mommy. I still have that phone. It's useless. So this is the age that you can teach as much as you can. So teaching comes because you should make yourself available. But if you are a working person, both of you all are working, but you still have time to cook, you still have in the weekend to do laundry, all those things, get them involved. How to do the laundry, let them help you to fold the clothes. And actually by doing that, they are learning how to be organized. They are learning how to manage things. So even though they are tiny, it's okay. In a tiny way, let them help you in the house. So they are going to learn to be kind, be thoughtful to others. So you are developing this child, you are guiding this child not only to be a good academic achievements, but also a good person and also a God-fearing child. So whenever you involve this child in your family prayers, you will be amazed at how they pray, how they reach out to God. And maybe when, I will tell this example in the next slide. Let's go to the next slide, age 5. Oh, this age, oh boy. You better have a lot of energy at this age when your children are at this age, because it's not always about making things available to them around the house and teaching them and of mathematics, science also. Let them be bored once in a while too. When they're bored, their minds get very active. And they become curious. They start looking things around the house. What I did around this age for my children? During school time, we will cut off all our channels in the TV. No TV time. They will have TV only during summer, and that also limited hours. We won't have TV throughout. We didn't have all the channels. So during school time, there's no TV. And even if there's a TV, only a cartoon channel, maybe in 1 hour. And I'll also sit and watch with them. So be very mindful now what they are doing. It's okay to be bored once in a while, because as I told you earlier, they will go, they become curious, they will look around things. I'll tell you one example. As I told you earlier, that I'm the youngest child for my parents. I was born when my mother was in her mid-30s. I think my father was almost touching 50. So our 8 children. So when the 8th child came, I think they were like I think maybe they lost interest in caring, I don't know what. So what happened? They put me out of all my siblings, like 8 children were studying in a different language. 7 children were studying in a different language. And my dad chose me to study another language. Totally a different language from the rest of my siblings. I went to school. I remember I really didn't learn anything much. I remember up to grade 1. When I was in grade 1, I didn't know to read or write. I was able to write the alphabet, but I didn't understand I was drawing. So one fine day when my dad called me and told me to read, because he wanted somebody to know his language. So my mom spoke a different language. So all my 7 siblings learned my mom's language. And my dad's language, I'm the only one. So when I went to school, and I think he didn't have time. He was a businessman. He was traveling mostly, and my mom didn't know the language to teach me, so I was lost. So one day he asked me to read a book, a poem, and I was out of memory. I was reciting it, but I wasn't reading it because I didn't know how to read. He caught me, and he got so angry. He said, "You don't know to read?" I said, "No, I don't know to read." First thing he did was beat me up nicely. That is old parenting. Okay, beat me up nicely. He didn't realize it was his responsibility, but he beat me up. I remember very well that day because I was so hurt and I was so angry. And I told him, "You didn't teach me to read. And none of my brothers and sisters can teach me because it's a different language. They don't know the language." So he took that weekend to teach me how to read. And I learned it so quickly. I think that one weekend I learned to read. And after I learned that, I was so thirsty for reading. My sister recently, she reminded me, I read all the books in the house. And I came to a point that I have read all the books. I had nothing else. Then I found a Bible. I read the whole Bible. I was in grade 2, grade 3, I don't know. I read the whole Bible. I didn't understand what it meant, but I read it because I was so eager to read. And then, because now I have read it, now in my school, I did very well because I was able to read, I was able to memorize. This is the age you should encourage your children to memorize. And also, please don't discourage. This is a very crucial age because the more you encourage your child to learn, the better, and the child learns not only. This is the age that they build their confidence level, that what they're capable of. But if you're going to tell your child, "You're dumb, you're stupid, you don't know this, you're going to school," no, it is not the school's responsibility. First is your responsibility, then becomes the school's responsibility. As parents, you take the responsibility to make sure that your child knows everything. The child is equipped when he goes. Don't expect the school to equip your child. Make sure you equip the child first. So I'm telling you my example. So right after that, I learned how to read, and very well. I did very well in all subjects. I got full marks, and I came home. See, all my siblings were average students. average or above average students, and I think they have gone through all the children when it came to the 8th child. So this child comes with a report card with all 100% in all subjects. They couldn't believe. The first thing one of my brothers told, she must have copied. She must have copied. So what my parents did, beat me up again. Imagine how I would have felt. Till this day, it hurts me. It hurts me because I did my best. I took time to write the best handwriting I could, and I did everything good. And here I come first in my class, and I come home with a report card, but my parents are not able to trust that I'm capable of it. And they beat me up. You know, the next report card, I didn't show them. You know why? And you know what? But I got caught because I signed it like my father. And I got caught. And I got beat up again. So I'm telling you to this example, don't discourage your children. It is not about the marks. You tell them you can do better next time. You can do better next time. And find out, you see, all children cannot be best in everything. They have their talents, their abilities, right? So you find some abilities, encourage them. One of my children, she was so good at drawing and artwork and everything. So I used to encourage her. I used to buy her things from dollar store and give. There's another child of mine, she loved puzzles. So I would buy this $1 puzzle, $2 puzzle. She was a toddler. But I would even watch how fast she can put those things together. Initially, she took time. Then after some time, she got it so fast, then she got bored. Because the same thing. So I kept buying. And after some time, I forgot about it because she became busy in school. But recently, I find out she goes and buy a 1,000-piece puzzle, and she sat there doing it. Actually, you are developing the analytical skill of a child. Make them curious, give them books. TV is not a good thing for children. Don't buy gadgets, PlayStation. Take them to the playground. Let them play. Let them play. You know, let them get. Because I remember as children, I don't know, I know most of you can relate to this. We learn how to climb trees, pluck mangoes, and imagine nowadays you take a child and ask where the banana is growing from. They will think that it's just coming up as a package from the store. They don't even know how a banana plant looks like. So teach them those things. You know, teach them about what are the things, you know, at this is the age they are also forming trust, right? So you be mindful whom your children are interacting with, your relatives, your in-laws, your friends, whomever. You know, also teach your children. Teaching is not only academics, as I said, it is spiritual, physical, and also you have to teach them to protect themselves. Teach them what is good touch, bad touch. Right? Teach them boundaries so they know that nobody can take advantage of them. How many testimonies, how many times you have heard about abuse, right? And teach the children to talk to you, not to be afraid of anything. Parents should be the ones that they come to first. So that bond is made or developed only because you encourage them, because you trust them. Everything you think that's out of the ordinary, don't call them a liar. It will discourage them. You know what will happen? Even if they're getting abused, they feel, oh, my mom is not going to believe me. Most of the time, that is what happens. Or they feel guilty that they did something wrong. So make sure that you develop that bond between your children. I'll show you another example because I learned from my childhood and my husband learned from his childhood the things what our parents did differently. So we made sure that all those mistakes, we will not do it for our children. We'll be there. So I never, even if all my children, they are different, they are unique. They have very different ways of learning. One of my children, you give a book and tell her to read, she will read, she will have the whole memory, memorize it. Within an hour, she's done, she's good. Another child of mine, no, she can't do that like the other one. She has to spend a lot of time. She has to work hard, understand. She will take days. What the other child will learn in one day, another child takes days to learn. So don't compare your children with each other. That's a very, very, I would say, very harsh thing you can do. A very damaging thing you can do to your children. Don't compare your children with each other. They are all unique. They are all different. They learn differently. Right? So trust them. So if you don't build a bond, a trust, they can't learn, they cannot understand, they are not going to come to you. You understand? Okay, they should know. Even if I'm not doing very well in a subject in school, it's okay. If I go to my mom will understand. She will not scold me. She will not call me dumb. My mom and my dad, they will understand, they will get me extra help, or they will sit and they will teach me. So that is what we instilled in our children with all our three kids. So they never felt ashamed or less of themselves when it came to things they didn't understand. If they are not doing well, they would come and say, Mommy, I didn't understand this, or Mom, Dad, I didn't understand this. My husband, he's very good with mathematics and physics. Physics is not my strength, but mathematics is my strength, and English. So I would teach those subjects. He would help them with that. So I know one of my children, she hated chemistry for some reason, because she didn't understand the teacher. She almost failed in chemistry. But when we took time to get help and teach her chemistry, chemistry became one of the favorite subject for her strength, in fact. So imagine, so how much a parent can influence a child. The introduction, I went very too fast, but I'll tell you, my first job, I worked as a business manager for my husband. When I married, my husband had a business, so I was helping him. Then things turned around, and we had to move to a different state. We became believers. And I was a teacher for 8 years in one of the reputed schools in India. That time, that school had about 26 branches across India, but now it's more than that. It's an international private school. So my husband was a principal, and I was a vice principal. So one thing I learned in these 8 years of experience as a teacher in a school is that no child is dumb. No child is dumb. Any child, given the opportunity, given the right guidance, can do good. I'll tell you an example. One time I was teaching English for a grade 5 student. You can go to the next slide, please. Grade 5 student. I remember her name very well. This girl, she would write sentences that you can't read. It's a scribble. And she was getting 0 in mathematics. English, she failed. Almost because she was not good at writing. Nobody can read her handwriting. She failed in all subjects. And she was a ridicule of the class. And she was shunned, she was isolated. She was in the last bench in the corner. And every teacher, none of the teachers liked her because she did bad in their subjects. So I was watching this child for a while, and I felt so sorry. She was all alone. She didn't have people, other children didn't play with her, and teachers didn't really bother to take time to help her. So you know what I told her? I told, my dear, how about me, I'll teach you how to write properly all the alphabets. Mind you, this is grade 5. From A to Z, let me teach you how to write your alphabets properly. And if you keep practicing it, and then you write sentences. So like that, week by week, she improved. She was able to write proper sentences properly and legible ones so people could read. She could form a sentence. Then I started to teach her mathematics, to addition, to subtraction. And I took time after class. And every time she did good, and I really appreciated her. And I told, you know what, if you get even few marks more than what you did in your last class test, I will treat you. I'll take you and buy you something you like, some snacks. So this girl was in the hostel, so she really liked something sweet. So I promised her, okay, I'll get it. And she didn't get much. She got, I think, about 10 marks more than 0. Before she used to get 0, now she got 10 marks. So I still took her, and then, my goodness, I saw the way she bloomed. She got that confidence that she can do it. By when we came to the third quarter, the quarterly exams, she passed. Not very good marks, but just pass. She didn't fail. So imagine what you can do to a child if you give the time, the right opportunity and time. Your time is precious with your children, right? Don't think you're tired. It's okay. Take few minutes a day, like half an hour, 1 hour a day with your child. Talk to the child. You know, my husband, one time I was very mad at my husband because he was teaching about finances to a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. My youngest was 6 years old, and he's teaching about finances, how to manage finances. He was telling my second child, okay, this is what mommy earns, this is what daddy earns, and these are our expenses, this is our mortgage, this is our electricity, this is what we pay for the car, this is what we pay for the food. Then she said, Daddy, oh, how are you managing all this? So we have to manage. And one thing very early in early in life, what we taught our children is we have to manage our finances. We have to live within a budget. So none of my children till date, even as a small child, my oldest child, she never would come to a store and say, Mommy, buy me this. First she will stand by, look, then she'll come close to me and she will say, Mommy, only if you have enough money. Only if you have, you can buy. If not, it's okay. That is how she would say, it's okay, Mommy. I understand. So teach them. So by the age of 10, 11, my husband, I think he even opened an account for them. And also he gave them like $100, not to buy snacks and eat and everything. He said, I want to see you tithe and I want to see manage. If you need something for the school, sometimes school trips, they have to pay, you have to pay. So that is how you teach them how to manage even their finances. By the age of 11, 12, all my 3 children knew how to cook because every time we cooked, they were there in the kitchen helping us, cleaning with us, organizing things. So they learned the basic cooking by by the age of 12. So you're teaching your children. Your focus should not be only academics. I'm stressing on this again and again. It's all overall growth of your child and the learning of your child. Your child is learning. I've told you, you have to start very early, reading the Bible, having the family prayers, teaching, what did you learn today in Sunday school, right? And on top of that, explaining. One thing, at age of 6 to 10, my husband didn't treat my children like children. He treated them like adults. He taught them about marriage. He taught them about principles of kingdom principles. He taught them about finances. He taught about relationship. He taught about everything. About friends, different cultures, different religion. So he was building faith. And I remember one time, one of my children's teachers, she said, Mrs. Thomas, your child, She prays every time before she eats. I said, yeah, that is about what we have taught. We believe to bless the food and eat. But she's disturbing other children. I said, how is she disturbing other children? Because other children are wondering, what is she doing? And she goes and tells them that they should pray and eat. So, but we encouraged them. We were not ashamed. Even we go to a restaurant, we hold hands, close our eyes, say our prayers and eat. We are not embarrassed. So we made sure that they watched us. They watched us. And they also watched us before leaving the house, we pray. Before starting the car, we pray. So they all started doing naturally. It came naturally to them because they watched us. They watched us, so we used to pray. And, we bonded with our children so much. One Sunday school lesson, I think, one of the teachers told them, do you know that only Jesus can die for you? No one else. You know what my children did? 2 of them, they raised their hand and said, no, our parents will die for us too. That is the trust they have in us. That is the bond they have with us. So build a trust. The foundation of learning is trust, encouragement, prayer. This is all the foundation. And when you're also teaching them all these things, teaching them also to be courteous, thoughtful, kind, giving. I think Dr. Chum, one day he had come to our house. He was visiting, and I think he had to take little rest in our house. So, I was busy cooking in the kitchen. I think Dr. Chum went to wash his face. Then one of my children realized there was no towel. She took a towel and she stood outside the washroom waiting for him. She was a tiny girl. And she gave him the towel. He was so impressed. And when she asked, Pastor, do you want tea or coffee? Then he asked her, do you know how to make tea? She said, yeah. You want tea or coffee? Then he said, tea. Then how do you make tea? Then she asked him, do you want ginger in the tea or anything else? I make both. He was so impressed. Till today, he says to me, when she get married, call me. He was so impressed with her. The hospitality, right? How you treat people. So that is one thing. Another thing they have seen, because in our culture, if anybody comes to your house, you don't just send them, say bye and send them. You give them minimum, you give them water, something to drink. Maximum, you make sure that they have food, eat with you and go. So that was developed in my children. And another time, I and my husband traveled to India, and my children, my youngest she was in grade 5, 6, and my oldest was in grade 8. Second one was in grade 8, but we told her, be careful. But they all knew how to cook, manage. So I told her, be careful, don't let anybody in, but anybody comes who knows us, treat them good. So one of our friends visited the house just to watch how they are doing, because we told them that we have left 2 children alone in the house. He came to check, and he said, Blossom, I was so impressed. I said, why? He said, first thing as soon as I entered, they asked, Uncle, would you like to drink something? You would like to drink juice or tea? So he said, the way they were so hospitable, I'm so impressed with them. So teach them. Teaching is, I have seen, in my own experience, I have seen people who are highly educated but have no manners. They are not kind at all. They're so rude. Right? So teach them. Teaching is not only learning things academically, but also be a good citizen, social life. And also teach them, I taught them so many things. I'm a mother. Even today, if I learn something new, I go home. Even accounting, if I've learned something new in accounting, I go home, I discuss about it. I tell them about it. So anything I learn, I tell them. Anything that they learn, they tell me. So we are imparting knowledge to each other. My husband, he sits, even he didn't, my youngest was not even an adult, but he would sit and ask, he would tell, oh, this is a situation in the business, what to do, how to do, and she even will give input. And I will look at him and he says, no, it's good. She has to understand things. One day, who knows, she will take over, do things. So get your children involved. Don't underestimate them at any age. Don't underestimate them. Treat them like equal. Especially imparting knowledge, not in everything. Teach them equal when you're imparting knowledge to them. That they understand. If they don't understand, repeat things to them. Make them understand. Don't say don't do. You understand? When you say don't do, or I don't have to explain, don't do, they get discouraged. But if you say why you are telling them not to do things, they understand. Right? This age is very, very crucial. If you don't teach them discipline, if you don't teach them to be courteous, good citizen, socially be responsible, and be a good student and a good child, after this you can't. It's very hard. In my language, there's a saying that if you can't bend in 5 years, you can't bend in 50 years. The character development is almost done by the age of 5-6 years old. So imagine, most of the time we think, oh, they are small kids, let them run around, let them do things, act foolish. It's okay. They will learn when they grow. No. That is the time you have to teach them. By this age, they are fully developed, almost 95%. They are developed. Their brain is developed, 95%. So by this age, you should have taught everything you know. Life lessons, academics, discipline, God, faith, everything you should have taught your children by this age. But if you haven't done, it is not too late. By God's grace, God will give you the wisdom to teach them. Right? I would like to go to the next slide. This is another crucial age. They are going from 95% and they're still developing, and not only their brain is developing, now they are in a very crucial stage because they are hitting puberty. And the body is changing, hormones are changing, looks are changing, and there's a lot of doubts, a lot of confusion as to what is going on with them, what they like, what they don't like. They are not sure. They are looking at others. Some students, they know what they're going to do in university, what major they are planning, what profession they are going to choose. But sometimes some children, they are in a very confused state at this age. But as parents, as adults, we think, oh, they are growing. They're almost adults. They should know things better. I think that is a mistake most of the parents we do. We don't understand that. We too went through that age. And it's very confusing. And if you are not there with them at this age, it's a very dangerous thing. Because you might lose your child to whatever community or whatever friends they are exposed to. This stage, even though you have been with them as their babies, throughout you have been with them, you have been encouraging them, teaching them. But when it comes to this stage, they are doubtful about things. Right? What is going to be my future? Oh, how am I going to enter university? What major should I take? What is my profession? What am I going to be? Am I going to be a technician, a doctor, a lawyer, or accountant, or an IT guy? I don't know. Am I going to be a nurse? Or what am I going to be? These are all these questions is going on in their mind, right? And on top of that, if you don't understand that they are going through all these stages of, they are not sure about things, and you are also telling them, oh, you're an adult, why are you like this, why don't you understand this, why haven't you figured out, you are actually causing them more doubts. So this age, be supportive. This is the age you should share about your childhood, your experiences. Some of us parents, we like to tell only about the achievements. We always hide things that we are embarrassed of. The things we failed at. The things we did wrong. Most parents, they hide it. They want to give a perfect picture to the children. Don't do that. Be practical. Be practical. So I can give an example. One of my children, all three of them are very good at mathematics. So my oldest one, she chose her field. When it came to my second child, this child of mine, she was so good at mathematics. She's in her 90s, 98. And she was, at that age, she was even helping other students to learn math. So as naturally as a mother, what would my thoughts would be like, okay, something related to mathematics. Either she get into accounting, engineering, something, right? So that was my thought process. Then suddenly she comes and says, Mommy, I don't want to do math. I know I enjoy, but no. I want to take political science. I'm like, what? Is there any scope of job? What are you going to do with political science? See, that I did a mistake. But then later I understood, no, let her choose what she likes, right? I was even trying to make her why don't you take a little bit of economics? Why don't you take a little bit of marketing, little bit of accounting? In case this doesn't work out, you can fall back to another. No. She said, she was very straight to me. She said, Mommy, I know. You want me to do engineering. You want me to do something big. But I want to do political science. I was a little discouraged with her answer, but I said, okay, do it. But she excelled at it. And the scope of work she's getting is so good. I was like, wow. Is this what the scope of work you have? I was amazed. No, let them follow their heart. You don't force your thoughts. As I told you, they might choose something in high school, then when it comes to university, they would maybe go to 1 year of university and they come and say, Mommy, no, I don't like this. Let me change. Don't get angry. It's okay. It's okay. Let them change. Be supportive. But if you're going to discourage and say, oh, no, I'm not going to pay your fees. You better go and find a job and you do whatever you want. Don't do that to your children. Instead, say, okay, you don't like this subject. You didn't choose this in the university. Now you want to change. What do you want to change? Have you thought about it? Have you done your researches? Everything. Give them some time. And let them choose. Because if they choose something, what they love, what they are passionate about, they're going to do good. Right? God will make a way for them. So be supportive. One thing you have to understand, they are gifts from God. And it is your responsibility at any given time, until they are fully adults and until they are capable of taking care of themselves. It's your responsibility to make sure they go in the right path. They grow well, they study well, they do well. So be a supportive parent. Even if you say you're not going to be supportive, they're going to do what they want to do because they are almost 18 now. You can't stop. So it's rather, instead of fighting them and cursing them and crying, you be supportive. Stand by them. Encourage them. Okay, you fall once, okay, fine, we are there with you. You rise up, follow, stand up and do what you want to do. You keep encouraging. As a parent, I feel, because as I told you, My parents found it very surprising when I was doing good at my studies. But there's something in my country. It is open to all citizens, and it is in grade 5. There's an exam for the whole country, one exam. If you pass that exam, the government will give a scholarship throughout your whole high school and everything. It'll be free. They'll give you free uniform, textbooks, and they give you a stipend because that exam is so hard to crack. Grade 5, it's so hard to crack. Because the lack of faith my parents had, that they didn't think that I would do well, so they didn't send me for any kind of training. In whole of Sri Lanka, most parents would send their children for tuitions, and there's a special tutoring classes only for this scholarship program. So they would send, but I was not sent because I think they didn't believe. But the passion I had for the learning, one of those textbooks, they had these guidance books for this exam. One of my friend had brought it to the school to show. She said, "Oh, I'm learning all these things and all that." So I asked her whether can I borrow it from her for, I think, one day or for one weekend. I borrowed it from her. I read the whole thing. It was all test papers, right? I read the whole thing and I gave it back. She forgot, I forgot. And when the exam came for my grade to do the exam throughout the country, that is the time we had the ethnic war. So we were like, the war is just starting, so we were discouraged not to write the exam. But I told my daddy, "No, it's okay, I'll go write." Then he said, "Are you sure?" I said, so he didn't find it harm. Okay, she wants to write, let her write. I wrote. I got district first. My dad was shocked. He was shocked. Things turned around after that for him. He realized, oh, my daughter, she's good. So she can do something in life. So what he did, he took this scholarship very seriously. Even after the war, he pursued it. He got me into the best school Sri Lanka had, and he told the teachers, she's very good. She's the topper in this scholarship program. So please take care. If anything, if she doesn't behave or anything, you are free to beat her up, whatever you want to do, but make sure she studies well. They didn't have to do that. I had memorized my whole biology textbook within a month. So I knew the whole textbook. So any test they give, I'm good at it. I would do it well. Mathematics, I was able to remember formulas, do things, addition anytime. So I was very good at everything at that age. And my dad, after that, he made sure that he gave me time. He gave the right resources for me to study. But I know I would have become I wanted to become a doctor, but things turned around, circumstances changed. I also fell in love with my husband so badly, I wanted to be a housewife. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to be his wife, have kids. And even after getting married, he was saying, "Blossom, you're so good at studies. Go do your master's." I said, "No, what master's? Let me have a child." God had other ideas. So I came, I went back to school here again because I came to accounting. I don't want to mention names or anything, but that person is no more in the church. She made fun of me. She said, "Why should I teach you? I went to school. I learned. I paid and learned this accounting. Why should I teach you?" It hurt my feelings, so I cried one whole month with my husband. My husband got fed up and he said, "Why don't you go to school and learn?" I said, "You want me to go study again, do a degree again in Canada?" He said, "Go, do it." I did. And I didn't realize going back to school and studying and doing good would inspire my children. My daughter, one day she told me, "Mommy, if at the age of 40, you are able to go to school and do well in school, why not me? I can do well too." whatever you do, you are inspiring your children. Every stage of your life, the way you fight your battles, the way you learn things. So learning, as I said, there's no limit to learning. And there's no limit how you can encourage your children. I'm again telling you the same thing again. The foundation of learning for your children is trust. Build a trust. Build a bond with your children and teach them. Take everything that you learn, even at work, every day, day-to-day things, your life experiences, what you learn, what you're doing, anything enhancing your job, teach them. Don't think, okay, my child is going to be a doctor, so they don't need accounting. No, teach them. Everything possible, teach them. One time or the other, it will going to help your child. My oldest daughter, she's a medical doctor, but I taught her accounting, bookkeeping. She too didn't say, oh, mommy, my field is different, your field is different. Why are you teaching me this? I told, no, you will learn. So I taught them. All my 3 girls, at least they know the basic accounting. Anything I learn, I teach them. Anything they learn, they teach me. Also, teach them to take care of themselves. One thing I taught my children is, until you are 18, no makeup. I told the good things and the bad things about makeup. Your skin is still developing, you're still growing. Why are you putting all these products now? Once you're fully grown, your skin is okay, your skin can take some damage, you do it then. Until then, let your skin develop. Right? Teach them. Teaching is not specific to anything. You can teach everything. Teaching, housekeeping, cooking, everything, finances. Just only thing, you see, the reason why most children are glued to the TV is that they are bored. They don't have anything to do. But if you give them, don't tell them, okay, don't watch TV, do this. Don't say that. This point was given by one of my kids. They were telling, Mommy, tell them to tell, instead of telling, don't watch TV, come and eat, just tell, come and eat. Don't say, don't watch TV. Just say, come and eat, or come and play. Come and do something. That's how we do. Sometimes we all are sitting at home, little bored, don't know what to do. Then my husband will go outside, start moving the lawn. Then he will call me, then I will call all of them, come. Then we'll start thinking about planting, doing some gardening, cleaning up the backyard. We all do together. They're learning things around the house, the work, what they need to do to maintain a house. Right? So as I told you, all my 3 kids, by the age of 12, they knew how to cook, how to buy groceries, how to budget, how to maintain a car, how to manage their finances, things about marriage, how to be a good wife. So I want to conclude by telling that learning is not restricted to one area. All areas of life, please teach them, and also you be the one that they can trust, they can come to learn instead of going outside. Right? And I told you the first, from age to 1 to 5, that is almost 80 to 90% of their brain is developed. So the maximum you can teach them, teach them. Once you have that foundation in them, as they grow, they'll be very confident that they can learn anything. And the next crucial age is from 11 to 18. They're unsure. So share your experiences about yourself, your failures, your struggles, your challenges, that how you overcame. Then it will encourage them, oh, my dad is not perfect, my mom is not. They have learned through experience to be a better people, or they are to a better position, better education. So they have learned, right? So once they see that if our parents have done, we also can do. So as I told in the conclusion, there is no exact manual, but by the wisdom what God has given us, by His grace, we can teach. It's never too late to bond with your children. Once you bond, don't feel ashamed to say you don't know. Don't feel ashamed to say you are sorry. that you don't know about something they're asking, but you'll also learn with them. So once you show that you are willing to learn along with them, it encourages them. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please, you can ask. I can. No questions? Anything online? Good teaching? Thank you.
Hello? Okay, good. So, Pastor Blossom, I think parenting is one of the most difficult things.
Yes.
It's really, really challenging. And what I have learned is that for most of us, looking back, you kind of wish you had done things different. You know, when you're in it, you think you're doing okay, but then you realize that, you know, there's so many things that, because of course, you know, I have 2 boys, and I didn't teach them a whole lot of things about like cooking and all that kind of stuff, which I wish I had done. So what I want to ask though is, for people like myself that would say, I wish I did, like, what do we do now? Like, what advice can you give to people like us who, you know, our kids are a little bit grown up now, but you wish you did? So what can you do to kind of turn things around or restore or change things? That
the best thing is sit down and talk to them. Don't be ashamed to apologize. If you are, tell that I didn't come. You didn't come with a manual. I learned. I always tell my children. Sometimes, yeah, I'm not the perfect mother as you think. I'm not 100% perfect. I do mistakes, and I tell them when they ask why were you this? Why did you do this? I say, you didn't come with a manual. I also didn't learn from my parents much, but I'm learning. I'm learning on the job. So I do mistakes. I'm human too. So it really, you know, one of my children, she was far away for a while studying, and she came back. And she came back as an adult. And then I found that it was very different. I found it very difficult to approach her because she's an adult now, but I'm still treating her like a child. Right? That happens to most parents. So we were constantly having arguments. We were not seeing things eye to eye. So at one time, I and my husband decided it's getting difficult, going out of hands. So we had to sit down and talk our hearts out and tell, if I had to apologize, I did apologize to my daughter and said, I'm so sorry. Maybe at that time I didn't know better. You know, I'm human too, I'm learning. And when you become a mother, you'll understand too. So it's okay to say that, yeah, you messed up, but right now I want to amend things. Right? Let's mend it. Because I'm your mother. And one thing I told my daughter is, there's no other well-wisher in the whole world like your parents. Right? You have to understand we love you so much. Maybe we do mistake, but it's okay. You forgive me, I forgive you. Let's move on. Yeah, okay. How do you rebuild trust or bond with your child if you feel like it's been lost and it is now hard to connect with your child to help them? The best thing is open your heart. Have a real talk, face to face. Sit down. Address every issue one by one. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't try to manipulate. Because children can see through you. They are smart. So don't say, oh, because my child was bad, I was like this. No, don't try to defend. Don't blame. Say, okay, I didn't know better. I messed up. I'm so sorry, but I want to be a better mother. I want to be a better father now. So will you give me a chance? Right? Let's forgive each other. If you have to say sorry to your child, don't let your pride hold you back. It's okay. Rather you be vulnerable in front of your child and win your child back than have your pride and push your child away. I would rather do that. I told my child, I would rather fall down and ask forgiveness if I have done anything wrong. Please forgive me. I rather do that and win you over and hold my pride and say, oh, it happened, so why can't you forgive me? Let's forgive each other and move forward. That's not the way to approach. Be practical, be open, be humble. It's okay. We are all human beings. We have failed our Father in heaven so many times. We go back to him, he forgives. So it's okay. Ask forgiveness from your child if you are messed up. And I think a genuine apology would win your child back. Any other questions? Thank you. I think those are all the one question from online, one question here. Anything else? No. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Praise the Lord. Let's give it to God one more time for her, for giving us all these tidbits. I hope we all have learned few things.
10 minutes. Please, anybody with one or two pointers for us? I mean, I hope we are not going to go and pamper all the children forever, but anything, any one or two things. I learned a few things. It's a blessing. It's just you have to just watch the temper. Mine is just temper. Like when you're frustrating me, I can't let you get it. So maybe that's what I'm working on. Like just, and plus when you give me an attitude, it's attitude. I mean, you have something to share. Yes.
I have a question.
To me.
To you and the wiser parents that have kids that are older than.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. Please ask.
At what point? Okay, so there's this new thing that's going on now. I'm sure you've heard of gentle parenting.
Gentle what?
Gentle parenting.
Oh, right.
Where you allow children to explore and do until they overdo. So at what point do you draw the line and when do you punish? Okay, please go
They
ahead.
say don't even use the word, it's discipline.
Hello.
Hi.
There's no parent expert because we're all learning. One thing I can say about gentle parenting is that, so gentle parenting is where you don't shout at the children, you don't say no, you talk to each other, you reason, you're understanding. The child is screaming, you're like, what's wrong? You come down to their level. And to be honest, I'll share this from my experience. Thanks, husband. But at some point,
Mexi. Janelle. It's Janelle. It's not Mexi. It's Janelle. How? They give you another one. Give you another one. Yeah, give you another one quickly. Yes. Hey, your son is bringing it. Nice. Caris, do you have a question?
hallelujah.
Caris, can
Yes.
I ask a question?
So at some point we were clashing because me too, I was in this Instagram gentle parenting mode where don't shout at the children, you gotta be nice. It doesn't work. Children need structure and discipline. And I think the pendulum went from one side to the other, where like she said, you got good grades, you're beaten. You got bad grades, you're beaten. And so it's like we went the other way around where we want to do no rules, no structure, no nothing. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So we have to rely on the guidance of the Holy Spirit, yes. But children need structure. They need discipline. Can we work on our tone as African parents? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we work on our tone?
Oh, yeah.
Do we always have to be at 20 decibels every time we talk? No. But does that mean that there are no consequences? Because the world has consequences.
Right.
So if we cuddle, you go to work and be like, how do you feel today? I don't feel like working. So I'm just not going to, it's not going to work. So we have to give them enough that they're able to function in society as responsible people, but it doesn't always have to be at the 20 decibels. Yeah. But we bind it, this gentle parenting, please, we bind it.
Yeah. No, I think the point is, the problem, the point is the frustration, right? And the frustration sometimes it comes from, is that their vocabulary is more than mine. Like, they have vocabulary, and I don't have, all I have is my voice level. Like, I go, don't do that. But Daddy, you're interrupting. I said, what? Hey, can you spell that word that you just said? Can you spell it? But from what I learned, from what she says, is the trust part. So whichever way you go, they must trust that. They must trust that you have their interest. I think that's the one. So that even if yours is different, or is the trust. So that if something happens, and how you will get to know. Me, my personal example is, today something happened. Today she broke. She did something with it. She went to touch something she didn't touch, and it broke. And she couldn't tell me. That's where, when you get to that place, and you're okay, well, something can be, yeah, because if she told me, I won't be angry, but she has put me in that box that this thing I can't tell Daddy. And she has gone to take a broom to sweep it. And when I came, you know my first problem? My first said, why didn't you tell me? You have to calm down again. So I think it's the trust. Because I've seen that if from the 5, like she's saying, they begin to, okay, I can't tell you this, I can tell you this, which is where the danger is for me. But maybe it's because of the decibels that they are moving towards that direction. But whichever way, I think they should be able to trust you that I can tell you this thing. And without that part, they will dodge you all the time, right? Yeah, you don't know what they do when they go to school and things like that. Go ahead, please. Feel free.
Those who taught us that gentle parenting, being progressist, researchers, those who are in our universities, they are raising the alarm now. I read a lot. Last time, I found this. Après le règne de l'enfant roi, le règne de l'enfant Dieu. After the child who was a king, we are reaching a level of the children who are becoming God. These are from people who taught us many years ago. For 2 decades, Ivy League, Harvard, everywhere, Yale, psychologists, you have to change. There is a way. The God child is the one who is making rules, laws for the children, for the parents. And you are falling on those traps. Those who read French, I can share it with you. It is here. We cannot, gentle parenting is good. We know that in West Africa, we raise. We allow it. It's not good. Yeah, we allow it. So I do agree on that sometimes we need to balance the volume. However, trust, as you said it, it is very important. Yeah. If at one point some of my children, they used to come to me, but at one point they never come to me, they go to because every time you raise your voice, it seems like something goes wrong. So I am learning. I am learning also to moderate the voice and to continue building this relationship. And it is a very important. Be open to have conversation.
Yes, good.
However, my concern is about generation. She was talking about her children. There is a background also of culture.
That's right.
Culture is very important while raising children.
Right.
The way Indians raise their children is not the same way Kenyan raise their children. There is a background factor on it that there are things you should instill, you can give to your children at the early age. But you come to my country, sometimes the things we can share at 5 years old, they will tell you that you are not ready to bones. So wait a little bit. It is very important, and it's also generation. She's 27 years old. On those old days, her daughter is 27 years old.
My daughter is 27, yeah.
Yes, 28 now. We did not have YouTube. It is
there was not
important to
there.
balance what is
right.
going on. This is what I wanted to share. Also, better, it is very important that at age 5 to 6, so I will be honest. Brother told me last time that my son is getting in an age that he will be questioning himself. 12 years old to 18. She said it is important to know that they are living, hormones are working, and everything, especially girls also, let us be careful. Amen.
He said, no girls. Now, there's one thing, okay, yes, good. There's one thing that you said which was very important, was the learning, the sharing, the learning. That's one caught me. Like, what did you do today, Daddy? What did you learn? I think it will help the conversation. I think that's something we should. This is what I came to the food bank today. We serve 10 people. We put the food in the bowls. This is how we do it. Something small like that. I picked that. I realized that it's something I don't share with them what I learned today and things like that, which may encourage them to also tell me more. So I picked that. Somebody is there to say, "Oh, time is up, but it's good. Go. No, it's not up."
So
Go.
I think two things is, my babies are still babies.
Yes.
But I've raised a few children in my lifetime so far. It's about the, you were saying there was no YouTube, but I feel as if sometimes it's more convenient to hand your child a phone or a tablet.
Yeah.
But you see, it forms a lot of addictions.
Yeah.
You see, my babies, my in-laws will tell you that we don't do TVs in my house. My nephews and nieces, you see, he's shaking his head. We don't do TVs in my house. When you come, you're coming to spend time with me. So if you're on the TV, we're not really spending time, right? I mean, once in a while it's okay, but we shouldn't make it the norm, because it also builds a lot of addiction.
Addictions, some pathways, yeah.
And then those pathways also affect them in life.
Yeah.
It doesn't end at TV. That's, it keeps building, and there's a lot of wicked people online. So really, we need to minimize that. But another thing that she said is we need to really teach our children the things we want them to be, because we're raising adults. We're trying to raise people that are responsible members of society. So instead of just, and if you notice, those of us that grew up in Africa, our parents will have house helps. Your house help is going to your business to learn your business, and your child is at home playing Nintendo. And then you wonder when you die why your house help is taking over your business and your children are kicked out, because the children don't even know how to run it. So sometimes when they go there, they just mess up the whole thing, and then you notice we don't have generational wealth because we don't actually teach our children. So that's one thing she said. We don't actually teach our children how to maintain the wealth that we've done and then to level up, right? So we really need to work on that. And then and in line with that, on a social perspective, is not just to even say this is how many people we served at the food bank. They should come to the food bank and serve.
Yes.
Like me, by God's grace, one of the things, because me, I have a blueprint, right, in terms of how I want to raise my children, is that we are going to go each month to the mission and to food bank to serve. Because it's not enough to say, be the hands and feet of Christ. You actually have to show them how to be the hands and feet, and to make them comfortable with it. Because if you say you want to win souls, but you're not comfortable with the souls, how are you going to do that, right? So I think that's something we should be mindful of. It's a lot of work, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm J fatigué right now. Très fatigué. But we have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because you sacrifice now so that in the future they give you peace. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. It's good. Finally, as you wrap, okay, somebody has somebody. Yes. Okay. Acknowledge that time is up. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is in regards to, she mentioned at some point that when she traveled, her kids stayed home, and sometimes those that she knows will come to check on them. So just a little bit from my background, I grew up in a background where everything is taboo. You know, like we have a lot of things that we can't say. And my question
Taboo.
is how
Taboo.
Yes. And my question is, how do you, like, even when you have a daughter and a son, how do you raise them? Because I was raised, even your brother is a man, so don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. So how do you raise your kids with that knowledge of you are a woman without necessarily making them, you know, like overthink it? Because my brother is my brother, you know, but when I was growing up, I couldn't even hug them because it was like, he is a man, you are a woman, don't. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you do that? Because this has the, like, I'm not lying. I have, when it comes to I'm not a mom yet, but I know for sure that when it comes to my future kids, with men especially, like, I'm having hard time trusting a man coming closer because of the way I grew up. So how do you manage that? Because at some point you are projecting your fears on them. You know, yeah.
We need to forward the question. Send the question there. I'm not raising it up. Did you see me give me the speech? Was that the one who gave the somebody has always say what to say here. Me that you finish. Send the question.
I think
Go ahead,
there
please.
are so many issues with that. I mean, there have been some issues of incest, there have been issues of, you know, lasting rape and all those kind of things. But I'll give you an example. Kofi and Shalom, they're very, very close. And they used to shower together for a very long time. I know people in Canada, they don't encourage that. But it comes naturally. When Shalom started developing, nobody told her not to shower with
That's
Kofi.
right.
It's natural. They just separated. And then Kofi also would just, before he goes to the washroom, he closes the door, you know, like it comes natural, right? So of course you teach them, she knows she's a girl, he knows he's a boy. When Kofi was maybe 3 years old, he would wear my heels with Shalom. And I still have videos. Kofi in these high heels, you know. But I mean, as they are growing, it comes naturally. I know some parents, they don't encourage that. But me, when I was growing up, what I understood was that a woman died because the son was afraid to go to the washroom to pick up their mother. So my mom, when we were growing up, she would purposefully forget the towel and say, bring me the towel. And when you come, you're going to see her like that, right? Just so that when, God forbid, when she falls, you'll be there to be able to say, oh, you're not ashamed to take care of your mom. So that thing is based on where you're from, but it's not necessarily that. I mean, put God in them. When the fear of God is in them, pray for them. They don't think like that. This is my sister, right? And this is my brother. Nothing like that will come in their mind. And they will start discussing. And as they grow, that I've seen with Kofi and as they grow, they will just separate like that.
Yeah, isn't it? Oh, a question. The questions are to Toronto. Oh, last comment. Oh, you know, you acknowledge this time is up. Let's wrap up so that we can. Sure. Go ahead. Oh, you can, if it's a question or a statement, that's fine. It's okay. I'm just saying, you know the time, right? You know, it's not me. I didn't preach.
I have a question. Following on what Amy shared, I'm talking on the perspective of someone who is not married, who doesn't have children yet. I think listening to my faith, listening to this was really great, and I was really blessed by it because we don't hear it often. We come to church, it's like prayer, 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 spiritual, spiritual, spiritual. But we go back home, it's real life, right? And then you have people, they'll get married, they'll start having children, but they'll realize that, hey, I wasn't trained for it. And here as a church, I think even a lot of people are even suffering. Sometimes you won't, like, we don't know what we're going through. Well, I don't know, but everybody have their personal stories. But I know that some people, they might suffer, but they will suffer silently. How can we do it as a church where even if it can be like mentorship or like putting people together where they can learn from each other? So for example, I'm like a young, I don't know, beautiful girl, and I'm not yet
Finish it.
But yeah, from my perspective, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I cannot relate with everything she said, but you know that you can, I don't know, take notes and everything. But is it possible for us to put a system in place so when I get there, I have someone who's holding my hand, say, okay, girl, I've been there. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to watch out for. Yeah.
Go for Women of Virtue Conference. Don't count yourself out of Women of Virtue Conference. You meet people who will help you. Now, but the young people in church, one thing I want to tell you is, don't try to balance somebody's parenting when you are not their parent. Some of you say, when we are dealing with our children, you look at us like they are suffering. Then you give them your phone. I say, I don't give my children my phone. But you think that you can pamper them more than me, and they are suffering. So take my phone and watch a cartoon that I will not let them watch. Yeah, there's a reason. So I think one of the things as young people you need to do is to also just watch how somebody is trying to parent. Try to pick and learn. Don't try to say, well, this is how my parents raised me, and that's why I was not happy. So I'm going to balance all the children. I'm going to call the children in church and give them the candy that their parents will never give them. And then you're trying to live your childhood out of them. It bothers, sometimes it affects people when they grow up. Because they'll say, oh, Greer told me that it's okay to express my mind. Of course it's okay, but not in that sense. So that's one thing young people should do. People's children, you have to watch and learn. Okay, what is he trying to do with the child? Because my children, when they come home, they'll say, Jace has long hair, Jace has long hair. They say, and I said, but when I'm combing your hair, you're crying. Hands flat. I can't handle your crying. Maybe he's okay with the crying. Yeah, and he said, oh, okay. Because Rohit now talking about the barber shop. It's like, yeah, when I go, I sit down. But at first, it was not a joke. What did Jay say? Well, he has long hair. Wow. I said, well, I mean, I can't comb your hair. Because when I hold your hair, I use an old combo. He said, Daddy, let's go and cut it. Hallelujah. Anyway, but that's one thing. The young people, please do it. Then, if you feel like somebody is being abused or something, you know the channels to go. But it's okay. Yeah. You want to ask a question, Josiah?
I was going to ask a question.
Oh, yeah, Pastor Chi. Sorry.
So I think on your note about the younger folks, here's the thing. I think Deacon Style said it. Parenting is very, very challenging. There's so many different levels to it. It's extreme. Even Sister Brenda, Dr. Brenda said, you can't say you're an expert because you're learning as you go. So just that's a very good point you made, the Reverend made, that know when you're dealing with someone's children. Be very careful. Yeah. It's not just like a ha. It's a very serious thing because this is somebody's future we're talking about, right? That's one thing. But at the same time, the young people, though, much more wise folks too. Also the same thing. Be careful how you decide that you're going to decide how the person should parent, because it's very easy to say, why are you giving your child a phone? You're not in their shoe.
That's right.
Do you understand? Like, so you have to also be careful about how you decide to impart your ideas of parenting on that person who's trying their best to parent, and maybe this was their last straw. Like, take a phone. Like, just, it's not that they always want to be giving the phone to the child. It's just like they don't have it. It's either the phone or, right? Like, so one or the other. So this time it's the phone, right? But one thing I know that Pastor Blossom, if you've ever met her, and she didn't really elaborate too much on that, but if you've ever met Pastor Blossom, if you've ever asked Pastor Blossom a question, one thing she does extremely well is listen. Like, you can correct me if I'm wrong. She listens very, very well. And I have a sense that, especially the way I was raised, sometimes I would want to say something, and they're not listening. Like they're not, if you listen to what I'm trying to say, like, you will not lose your mind, you will not yell. Like, sometimes I'll say something and they're yelling, and I'm just sitting there thinking,
what did I do wrong?
What did I say that deserved the yelling? As in, you didn't even hear me out. I remember one time, this is a personal story. I remember one time I came home, my parents specifically said, when you go out, do not go to the mall. I went out, don't go to the mall.
Okay.
I went out, I did not go to the mall. Do you know how hard it was for me not to go to the mall when everybody else was going to the mall? I didn't go to the mall. I come home, you went to the mall. I said, hold on. I said, I did not go to the mall. You went to the mall. Like, listening. Listening. Like,
no, you're right. You're right.
These are so now you see what the thing is with Josiah. With Josiah, I love the kid Josiah. Sometimes Josiah will whine or he'll say something. Yeah, he's trying to communicate something to you. Most people, they won't leave him to finish his communication because we're quicker than him. You know, like you're 3. But if you sit and actually hear, sometimes I have to ask him to say it over and over, and then he finally says it. And I said, "Oh, the remote is broken." That's it. Like, all this crazy yelling and screaming in the house has gone to 10,000 decibels. It's just the remote is not working. He wants to tell you, "Daddy, the remote is not working. Can you fix it?" That's it. And so then you take the remote, you fix it, the house is quiet. And so we need to listen. The Bible even says to be quick to listen, slow to speak. Just listen. Anyways, that was my comment. Praise the Lord.
Very good. It's true.
Sorry, Pastor, I have something. For what she said, I know many of the mamas have come to me and say these young ones, they don't reach out. Yeah.
That's another
problem. They have complained a lot. You don't reach out. Even when they are having their wedding, bridal showers, they need advice. They don't reach out. They wait till when it's out of place. Now they are reaching out. But at least if you call these people into your showers, let them come, sit you down, advise you. They've been there, they've done that. You know, they can teach you a thing or two. I mean, they've been complaining. Say, this person is getting married. You know, I say, I don't know anything. But you are young, you should be, I don't know. Right? So reach out. If you want to know, pick somebody. You know, pick somebody that you can trust. Okay, this is what I want to know. I remember when we got married, we got married in Ghana. We didn't have a lot of counseling because I think both my grandmother had died and then his uncle's wife had died. So it was like a major funeral. So we were there, we went for counseling. We didn't even get to the sexual part, both of us virgins, right? We struggled in the beginning, right? I was shy to go to my mom, right? Couldn't go there. But then our doctor, thank God, we were able to reach out. He helped us. Even Pastor Raph at that time also helped us, right? If you reach out, people are going to help you, right? So reach out. If you don't reach out, you never know. There's solutions there. There are things people can teach you that you will know. But if you don't reach out, nobody, because Mama Anu was telling me, nobody wants to come into your space. Because you young people, you might insult Mama Anu. Mama Anu respects herself very well. So yeah, if you reach out, people are there to help you. Reach out.
Okay, it's good. Thank you very much, Mr. Chicken. The listening is very important. It's good.